Hello, welcome back, friends. This is the Jazz on the Beat. So, this is a sequel to the last video I dropped about broadcast templates. But this is the finished one, and this one is just with stock plugins. So, the only third party ones I used for the vocal tuning and drum replacer. So, you can get to see I'm using autotune to tune and for drum replacer, I'm using drum replacer by UVI. That's what I'm using. So let's get to it. So I'm going to be using this sound, this recording, and it's done in the key of C sharp. I have a C major. So the first thing we have on our first is just a trim. So let's put that on our channel. So the trim is on. So we can have everything we have there. Then let's turn on the auto tune. So from the wave, you can see that 2 and a little bit of 4 need a little bit of gain. So in here, you can find the gain here. Like I'm giving it a 4 dB gain. Here too. Like shouldn't be much more, but let's leave it at 4. So let us listen to only the BGVs only now. So the BGVs now, let's listen to it. So we put on the listen bus. So let's play.
I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good.
So the first thing on my bus is the EQ. That's the EQ7 band, which is that's a stock plugin. So we just need to get rid of the make it low cuts. Probably we take some of. So that's what I just did. That's the starting point for every mix for me. Just so this might be too high, but I just leave it that way since I can still feel the low end. And at the same time, I can still it's still audible to me. Just leave it that way. The second one is the emulation of the LA2A from the LA2A. So this is the emulation from Avid. That's from Pro Tools themselves. Just I'm just trying to catch the peaks.
With every breath that I am able.
So you're just catching the peaks there. The next one is the early 76. So the same thing, just to tame it and give it a color. So I'm doing like medium to fast attack, and I'm doing a very fast release. So when it grabs it, it releases it immediately, almost immediately. So I find that setting much transparent. So with that, let's move to. So pretty much I have that on my this thing also. I have that on my lead vox too, almost the same settings. Just a little bit of tweak more than each other. So we have the lead vocals too. Yeah, you're not gaining much because it's wave already is very high. And for the I'm using auto tune at C major, so you can see the return speed here for the auto tune. You don't need to take it to like 0 or 10, something like that, depending on the vocals. But for it to sound real and still live, at 20 is still okay. Then give it a flex tune. What this flex tune does is just gives you that natural feel. It adjusts the audio, it moves it to the target, but the speed is set slower, so it gives it very good it gives it very good tuning and makes it natural. So the tuning is natural, not like you hearing it like it's sounding robotic. So that's what return speed does for you. So let's listen to it with the vocals. So let's just do all work. So everything is included.
It keeps running after me with my life laid down. I'm surrendered now. I give you everything, everything, oh God. Your goodness is running out.
So another thing I do is I use a multi-band compressor. So I'm compressing each band
It keeps
as
running
they go.
out. It keeps running out. Your goodness, it keeps running every day, every noon, every night. It keeps running after me. Your goodness, it keeps running after me. It keeps running after me. It keeps
So just compressing bands and making sure every band is in the right spot. So after you are done with that, you can just move to another aspect of it. So another aspect of this one that is quite, let's say, I won't say it's hard, is just getting the right spot for kicks. So for the kick now, this is what we have initially. So but the moment we add into the when you add the trigger, this is what it sounds like. You can see it's more in the mix and we can hear it better. The clarity is there, not like what we had before. So for the EQ, I'm taking a bunch of this band out, which is the 300 or 200 as it were. So you're taking more of that frequency out. So 200, taking it out, then we boost it around 60, let's say 50 to 60. So that gives you a precise range. Let me just put it in the middle. So boosting it down, boosting that 55 for 200, dropping it. Then the high mid, the high mid, you are boosting it, and even the high shelf, you are boosting it up. So that's what we have. So let's take out the EQ and see how it sound like. So now we now have a limiter. So the limiter here is just trying to tame it, the low, the kick. Make sure it's not going past a particular decibel. So when it's at that decibel, it picks it there, doesn't go anywhere. So now the volume is now determined by where you are pushing your faders, your post faders. So that will not be determined. So you're not the one mixing into it, but it's a spec to know how it's going to go over a particular threshold. So the next one is the snare. So this snare here, I don't have a snare button. I don't have a snare bottom. So what I did is that I use this software. I use this plugin from Boss. Um, uh, where is it? So there's this plugin from Boss. This that's snare boss. So that's what I use to get a snare bottom. So without it, sound this way. That was a sound like without the boss. But when you add it into it, you can see it's sounding like you have a snare bottom. So when we add the normal snare to it, now add the trigger. So you're using that same limiter to pick the snare too, so it doesn't go overboard. Same thing you're doing there. So I'm sending this to a drum parallel compression bus. Also, I'm sending it to a snare verb. So we have not gotten into the snare verbs, the verb, the effects section. So when we get there, we're going to talk about it too. So let's go to the toms, rack toms. You can see how the tom is sounding. So I had to replace all. So that's overheads. The snare for the overheads. Let's try to work some things out. Yeah, for this is quite. It's quite okay for. So move to the bass. So this is the bass clean. So I'm just giving it gain. So the next one is the distorted. So I'm using this distortion plugin. This is Avid's own. This is Black Up Distortion. I'm just giving it distortion the mix is 100%. So, and the volume is still at 8. So you can hear that heavy distortion going on when you now mix the two. You can see the I'm blending the distortion into the clean, so it gives us this heavy boost there. So it helps you to cut through the mix. So the lower part is still there underneath, but the grits, you can hear that when you mix with the O mix. So the next one we're going to deal with is the keys. So the keys, so you're not doing any trim. So the one under the keys 2, let's say draw down the trim so it can't merge into the mix. So for the bass post, the one we did the other side is the bass pre. This is the bass post. The bass post now, I'm doing a low cut at 35 hertz. Majorly most people only hear those frequencies, so let us just cut it out. So that's just a low cut. Then the next one I'm putting on it is the multiband compressor. So multiband compressor, my major goal here is just to tame the low end. So the low end now, I want to tailor it in such a way that it's not too much and it's not too in my face. So in a way it's subtle, but it's weighty. So it's more controlled. So that's why I'm using this multiband compressor. So let's listen to how it sounds. So the next thing we are adding is the limiter. So the limiter is pegging it at a particular, so it's not going above a particular threshold. So no matter how hard to play, no matter how it does this thing, it should not go past a particular threshold. Just say minus minus 1 dB. Just so this also is just like a taste thing to you. Is a preference to you. So you can just, it's a preference thing to you. So next we're going to go for is the drums now. So for the all mix, I'm using a Fairchild 670. So I'm just like tuning. It's a very good compressor for the grooves and the mix. So it's helping me for glue. The next I have is my 3A. So the just the leveling amplifier. So what is just catching after the gluing any peaks that want to come out, it's helping me grab those peaks and taming them so it doesn't go past a particular threshold. So from the last video, I was talking about the when I created the mid side chain, the mid side the mid side chain. I was like, I'm going to tell you what actually is doing. So the first, what everything that is routed to the mid side chain is the guitar post, the horns post. So majorly anything that doesn't have much of low end. So the guitar, the horns, the keys, those are the ones in the mid side chain. So when they go into this place, what they encounter is this guy here, the pro, the multi-band compressor. And I'm sighting it to this. So when I'm sighting it, I'm particular about the mid area. You can see that's the mid area, and that's where the sighting is turned on. So it's affecting when the first one I have there is the vocal. So when the vocal is when the vocal is turning, it helps me turn down the everything. These particular bands, it helps to turn it in turning them down so the vocals can go through the mix. So let's see what that means. So majorly I'm going for around 3 decibel. That's what I normally go for. So around 3 decibel. So that's what I majorly aim for. So the next one I have is this. The second one is sidechain to the snare top. So the same frequencies also to the snare top. The snare top seems it's turned off. It's not receiving the side chain. Yeah, I guess as much. So we go again. So that's in its own has gotten what I need. So the next one I'm going to is the drums parallel compression. So the first thing I just roll off. I'm not compressing all parts of the spectrum of the parallel compression. I just want to compress the mid and the highs. That's what I'm compressing. Then I now blend it back into the whole mix. So that's what I'm doing here. So the next person I have on that chain is the LA2, LA76. So that's in a very fast to medium release, then medium, attack. So this is what it's doing here. You can see it's compressing a lot, it's compressing a lot. So that's on its own. Let's see what the compression is doing also. You can see there's a lot of compression going on there. So you have all mix here. Then let's listen to our main, everything brought together. Let's listen.
And your kingdom, it shall not pass away. It shall not pass away. Every tongue in heaven and earth say, every tongue.
So this is where we are coming from. So from here now, we can now start adding our time-based effects. So you are coming to your delays, you are coming to your reverbs and the vocal parallel compression. So now let's go with our long. So I use this thing. This is called an Abbey Roads EQ, something like that. That's an Abbey Road. So majorly I'm taking it out. I'm trying to dock. So there's no competition between the reverb and the the vocal itself. So the reverb is being docked as maybe the vocal range. That's 1K, rolling off the lows and rolling off some of the highs also. I have this same EQ on all the time based effects, both on short and delay also. So it's because it's majorly going to the vocals. So the next one I have is I'm using the space reverb. That's the stock plugin in Pro Tools, the stock reverb. So I'm using the medium space mic. So large chapel, there's medium space and stereo, which is stereo, the spaced mic. So this is what it sounds like. So with that, the second one is I'm using almost the same thing too, but here I'm using the EMT short. That's for plates. Um, and the same thing for each of those ones. I use a compressor after the effects. So this is just for passive loudness, and I want to like level. I want to match. I want to level, like compress these things. I don't want to level it out, even those peaks out before it comes out. So it's not like one part is higher, one part is lower. No, I don't want that for my reverbs. I want to keep them consistent. So the same thing too. Let's listen to that.
My beloved is the most beautiful amongst thousands and thousands. My beloved,
So you might not it's when you now have this um in your mix, that's where you now really appreciate what those guys bring to the table. So for the delay, I'm using this from mode delay, also from Pro Tools from Avid. So the same thing I'm doing, I'm compressing it also so it doesn't go overboard. There's another thing I do with this also. I could possibly sidechain this also. Most of the time I sidechain this to the vocals too. So when the vocals is up there, it docks it. So so the moment the vocals is speaking, it drops it. Then when the vocals is done, then it can continue his mission. So again, I use this also. I send the long reverb into I send it to long reverb too. So the delay is not that in your face, but it's back there and it's filling up the whole room or the whole spectrum. That's so you can it's not like you are hearing it, but you are feeling it. That's what I do for the delays also, for the delays. Let's hear it.
The Lord of hosts, the King of glory.
So the next I have is my snare reverb. So first cue it. The next the short reverb is not that's 1 second. It's not that very long. So you just need the release time and the decay. So then I'm compressing it also. So that's for the snare. So now after I have the snare verb, then I'm now having the drums verb, almost the same thing, almost the same, but this is a longer one. This is kind of too long actually, but you can just make it, let's say 2.5 or 2 as it were. So it might be determined on the piece of the music and how you want to fix your reverb. Then you're not just feeling, you're going to like blend it into the mix. You're going to be blending into the mix. So the next one we are going to be doing is the parallel compression for vocals. So first one I'm using I'm rolling off. I don't want to compress most of the lows of the vocals. I'm compressing the mids and the highs. So then I use this some LA 76. So then we are compressing quite a lot. So so there we have it. So we will now go back to our stream now.
The King of glory, Yahweh Sabaoth, Yahweh Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of hosts, oh shana na 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 na, Yahweh Sabaoth, Yahweh Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of hosts.
So the next thing we're gonna do is streams now. What I just send him on, he has to be on point. For the first time I'm using this one now for gluing the old sound. So since everybody is coming to this place, okay, let us have a uniform ground. So everybody's coming here. So this is a very slow attack. So let's use a very slow attack. Let's use something like 30 milliseconds. 30 milliseconds, yeah, for the attack. It has a fairly slow attack, and the release time. Just use the very fast release, 1 millisecond. that's where this one can. That's the highest this one can go to. So so it's grabbing and releasing at the same time. So it's in the rhythm of the song. It's following every hit, every sound. It's following. That's what a glue compressor will do. So you have to follow. You're just trying to like to tame every piece. It's trying to bring them to making every low sound come forward, every high sound come down. You're just trying to even out everything together, bringing imagine everybody in the same space. So the next one I'm using is multiband compressor. So this multiband compressor is just taming, is just trying to tame every aspect of the music. Okay, here is low. This band is kind of sound this way. Let me just sculpt it to that what this pro limiter is doing. Pro multiband compressor. So the next one I have here is limiter. So we want to compete with every other thing we are doing online. So usually when I'm mixing for broadcast, I go for the let's say there's something called the LUFS. That's the loudness meter, the rating. So I go for YouTube. YouTube is -14. So if I'm in the range of -14, I'm okay. That's for YouTube. You can go more than that. You can still go up to like -9. But I love going just -14. So when it's in that range of -14 to minus let's say 13 point something, I'm good. So I'm doing a threshold of -3 and my ceiling is set for 0.1. So anything above 0.1, it won't go above that. So that's my limiter. Hakuna chemba, Yeshua, oh, Amashiach, Lion of Judah. Hakuna chemba, oh, Yeshua, So where we are coming from? This is where we are coming from. Let's listen, then now go back to where we got into. Walk with God the Son, I walk with God the Son.
every tongue in heaven on earth.
So I guess we have come to the end of the showing. So with this, you can subscribe, tell your neighbors, your friends who are producers or in the broadcast industry, in the church and stuff. So if you want to get this stock plugin or they want to see how it works, you can always get it. I'll drop a description little below. I'll drop the link so you can always get this plugin. So the next one I'm going to show you the same Pro Tools, the template as you work with other third party. It's just strictly third party plugins. You're talking waves, talking fab filters, the major stakeholders when it comes to mixing. So I'm going to be showing you that. So the next time we meet, peace out.